And we're off. A calm start. But if you've ever watched courtroom dramas, you know the quiet openings usually hide explosive truths. Keep an eye on how this judge methodically walks Mr. Edmond through every detail. This is the calm before the storm.
I'll swear you in a minute and ask you a bunch of questions. You'll need to answer those as best you can, and you should let me or Ms. Rios know if you've got any questions. Will you do that?
Yes.
Okay, and make sure you speak up. And Ms. Rios, can you bend the microphone down towards Mr. Edmond a bit? Thank you. We've got two cases this morning with you. It's 25 SC 003445 and 25 SC 004469. Pleased to both those. Mr. Edmond, I don't know if these are negotiated or not, but regardless, in the end, your lawyer is going to be making a recommendation. If I follow that recommendation, then the plea is binding. If I impose a sentence that is more severe than what Ms. Rios asked for, you'll have a chance to talk with Ms. Rios about whether you want to accept that sentence or if you want to withdraw your plea. Today is what we call your final plea date, which is time during which you could say no thank you if you don't like the sentence that I impose. I may well go along with what Ms. Rios says, in which case that's what you asked for, and so you're going along with it as well. But if I disagree with something and say, and I'm making this up, you know what, there also needs to be a fine of $1,000. You may say, that's not what I agreed to, I'd rather go to trial, in which case we'll get you back where you were and get you on the next available trial calendar. But you'll have a chance to talk with Ms. Rios about whether you want to go forward if my sentence is different. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Davis, when you're ready.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
Do you understand that you're charged with the following offenses? In an indictment 25 SC 003445, possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, reckless conduct, use of a firearm by a convicted felon during.
Whoa, that's a laundry list of felonies. Notice how the prosecutor's tone stays steady, almost routine, as she lists out charge after charge. Meth, firearms, obstruction. In court, the delivery might be calm, but every word carries the weight of years behind bars.
A crime and a firearm by a convicted felon. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then do you understand that in 25 SC 004469, you're charged with possession of a methamphetamine with intent to distribute, possession of a firearm during the commission of certain felonies, obstruction of a law enforcement officer, battery, simple battery, fare evasion, and use of a firearm by a convicted felon?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to the charges? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your lawyer, Attorney Rios, about all the facts and circumstances known to you in both indictments, including any potential defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied? Do you need more time to discuss this case with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with her services?
Yes.
Attorney Rios, do you waive formal reading of both indictments and any and all defects therein for the purposes of this plea?
Yes.
Mr. Edmond, do you remember being arrested on these charges in both cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these cases. Attorney Rios, are you aware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges?
No.
Mr. Edmond, has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge to which you are pleading to today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm going to go through those in 1 second. I want to pull up the indictment to make sure.
Give me 1 second too, please. I got it. All right, okay, I found it. All right.
Okay. I'm going to start with indictment 25 SC 003445 for possession of a methamphetamine with the intent to distribute. For that is a minimum of 5, maximum of 30 years. For possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, it is 5 years consecutive. For obstruction of a law enforcement officer, because you were just resisting arrest, it is 12 months. For reckless conduct is 12 months. Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon is 1 to 10 years, and there's 2 counts on this indictment.
They're different, and so I don't know that the ranges are the same. They're different statutes. So I can look those up while you're pressing on, but I don't think it's the same range for both.
Well, Judge, it was my intent just to null pros one. I think they did it the same. The person who indicted this did it in both cases, and I was going to.
You can no pros whatever you want, but one of them is, hey, you possessed a firearm and you've been convicted of a firearm offense before, and that's a different offense from the last count, which is you were a felon and you had a firearm. So I don't know that the ranges are the same, but if you're null prosing one, I just need to know which one you're null prosing.
I'm moving forward with the standard 131.
Okay, so you're null prosing count 5, and then count 6 is 1 to 10. Understood.
And then for indictment 25 SC 004469 is the same range for the possession of a methamphetamine, 5 to 30 years. For the firearm to the commission of a crime is 5 years consecutive. Obstruction of a law enforcement officer, also 12 months 12 months maximum for the battery, 12 months simple battery, the same. And in this one, I'll be moving to null pros count 8. I just need to get clarity on the fear evasion.
That's a misdemeanor.
Yes, so 12 months.
Okay. So count 8 is null pros, and then count 9 is the 1 to 10.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
That was a lot. Do you understand everything that we were saying about the maximum possible sentence for each charge to which we described?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that today you are entering a non-negotiated plea or a blind plea? This is where the state will still make a recommendation to the court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand the court can impose any sentence authorized by law, including a higher sentence than that recommended by the state, up to the maximum sentence on each charge?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the judge already explained to you that you have the right to, at this stage, withdraw the plea if you are not in line with the sentence imposed.
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on other convictions in this jurisdiction, as well as other jurisdictions, including federal courts?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at a trial would? And that is true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm or use a firearm in a crime, you would be guilty of a felony which can carry a sentence from 1 to 15 years in prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote, to hold public office, to serve on a jury, to obtain a passport, to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering this plea of guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights? And I'm going to go over 9 and then ask you, do you understand? Okay. The right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to the assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at a trial of your case, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal these guilty plea conviction?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from today for the felony charges and 12 months from today for the misdemeanor charges to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness of this guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to the charges in indictment 25 SC 003445, possession of methamphetamine with the intent to distribute, possession of a firearm to the commission of a felony, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, reckless conduct, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
Yes.
How do you plead to indictment 25 SC 004469, possession of a methamphetamine with the intent to distribute, possession of a firearm to the commission of a felony, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, battery, 2 counts of simple battery, fear evasion, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or promised you anything to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state believes the evidence would show at trial that in indictment 25 SC 003445, that officers with the Atlanta Police Department were surveilling the area of a package store in a high crime area. That location was 842 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard in Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County. Officers were using the Fusus camera system, whereas the surveillance camera footage. They were able to observe a male conducting multiple hand-to-hand drug transactions. He also lit a firework and threw it on the sidewalk where pedestrians were walking. Officers approached him, attempted to detain him.
Here's where it gets real. Surveillance footage. The silent witness that never forgets. For prosecutors, that's gold. For defendants, it's game over. The fireworks, the drugs, the Glock. It's the kind of detail that paints a vivid, damning picture for the court.
But he resisted. That individual was identified as the defendant, Mr. Joseph Edmond. Once they were able to handcuff him, they placed him in the patrol vehicle. They did also locate on his person a Glock handgun in his waistband. A search of his backpack yielded a large amount of marijuana and suspected MDMA pills. It was confirmed by the GBI that they were actually methamphetamines, and it was 5.8 grams. The marijuana was not tested. In indictment 25 SC 004469, officers with the MARTA Police Department, and this occurred, on December 29, 2023. Officers with the MARTA Police Department observed what they believe was an assault between the defendant, Mr. Joseph Edmond, and I believe at the time his girlfriend, Mr. Derkaya Hall. Basically, they were at the West End MARTA station, and this is located at 680 Lee Street. They observed him on camera, those two getting into an altercation. It appears that the defendant spit in her face. She hit the defendant. The defendant then slammed her to the ground and punched her. He clutched something which appeared at the time to be a weapon, and then officers attempted to respond pursuant to that incident. Ebola was sent out to all officers with pictures of the defendant. And on January 8, 2024, they spotted him at 832 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard in Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County. They attempted to detain the defendant based on this incident. He attempted to leave by jumping on a scooter and then running on foot. They were able to detain him. They also located at that time a handgun in his waistband, some MDMA pills, also some marijuana as well, but the GBI did test those pills and confirmed they were methamphetamine, weighing 5.5 grams. Our recommendation for the court originally was for a 10-year sentence, for 5 of those years to be served in custody, the balance on probation.
When you say originally, are you going to say a different sentence now, or that's still your recommendation?
That's still my recommendation.
Okay.
I did say originally, Judge. Originally and currently.
Okay.
For the defendant to serve 5 years in custody, balance on probation, drug and alcohol evaluation and treatment if required, for him to complete his GED or provide proof to probation, complete 60 hours community service, forfeit all firearms, have no contact with the victim, and to stay away from all incident locations.
All right. Have you had any contact with Ms. Hall or someone in your office?
I have not personally, and I just want to triple check and see if anybody from our office was able to reach her. I don't have that we've made contact with the victim.
Okay. Got it. Hello, Ms. Smith-Mann. We swapped out personnel from pretrial. Appreciate the coverage today. Have you had a chance to run Mr. Edmond's criminal history?
Yes, Your Honor, I have. What I have before me is 43 cycles. Last arrest was 2024 FTA 2007 felony obstruction convictions. And Your Honor, these will all be felony convictions. 2008 felony obstructions, 2 counts. 2009 robbery, felony obstruction. 2010 sale of marijuana. 2010, sale of marijuana. 2012, theft by receiving stolen property, forgery, second degree, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, sale of marijuana, conviction. 2012, sale of marijuana. 2015, theft by taking, possession of firearm by a convicted felon. And 2016, possession schedule 2, conviction. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Officer Okuzu, is Mr. Edmond on probation for any of those cases still?
No, he's currently not on probation, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Rios.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Edmond is 35 years old. I'm 36 years old. He was working at long service, self-employed. So he's been on and off with employment. He has a drug problem. I have gotten him into the Salvation Army program. I have an acceptance letter for them. He wants to change his life and do well for his children.
And there it is, the defense's emotional pivot. When lawyers shift from legal facts to human stories, they're trying to remind the court this isn't just a criminal. It's a father, a man in pain, maybe a man who still has something to fight for. But will that move the judge? Stick around.
He has 5 boys and 1 girl and 1 grandchild. One of his sons passed away while he was in jail. I believe I sent Ms. Nelson the obituary for his son. And so he wants to be able to be there for the children that are living and make a change. I know based on his history, it looks like a lot of it was selling, but it was supporting a habit. He does have an addiction issue. So I'm hoping with the rehabilitation program that he will be able to kick this habit. His drugs of choice are meth for the most part. So for case 25 SC 003445, I'm asking for count 1 to be 10 serve 8 months, count 2 5 years consecutive, count 3 12 months, count 4 8 months to serve, count 4 8 months to serve, count 5 was all crossed, and then count 6 10 years serve 8 months. And then on 25 SC 004469, I'm asking for count 1 to be 10 serve 8 months, count 2 5 years consecutive probation, count 3 8 months, count 4 8 months, count 5 8 months, count 6 8 months, count 7 8 months, count 8 is now processed, and then count 9 10 serve 8 months. So total of 10 serve 8 months with the 5 years consecutive probation.
Okay. Mr. Edmond, anything you want to add to what Ms. Rios has already shared with me?
Yes. I'm asking for the mercy of the court because, my child died in February, and, that made me feel like it made me feel real bad about it.
This is the heartbreaker. You can hear the emotion breaking through every word. It's one thing to read a plea. It's another to feel the weight of a father who's lost a child. In moments like these, judges often have to balance law with humanity. That's not easy.
I wasn't even there to be there. I was in jail just because of the bullshit that I do, just for a habit, just to get drugs. You know what I'm saying? And, I have more kids that need me. And my daughter, she trying to go to college, and she need me. And I just wanted to change my life around. And I never had help doing that. Nobody never helped me, period. Try to, change my life. I always get in, get out. You know what I'm saying? I never had a program. I never, been in a situation where I could help me and myself so I could help my kids. You know what I'm saying? And it just be hard. It's depressing. And, it's pitiful. So I'm just asking for the mercy of the court. It just, at least just deal with me one more time.
Okay.
It just,
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and I'm glad you're realizing how the choices you've been making, and it sounds like it's often driven by addiction, not that you're willfully making those choices, are destructive for you and for your family. You mentioned you've got a daughter who's trying to go to college. How old is she?
She's 17. She has my grandson.
Okay, so she's in high school now?
Yes.
She a junior, a senior?
She's in 10th grade.
10th grade? Okay. And she's the one who, she has a kid and that's your grandkid. Okay. Yeah. Who does she stay with to help her manage things?
She stays with her boyfriend.
Okay.
Right now at the moment.
Got it. And is the boyfriend the father of the child?
Yes.
So they're together as a family?
Yes.
Is your daughter still in school? Is she able to stay in school?
She's working, but she's trying to maintain right now.
Sure.
Because she don't have no help.
Got it. Does the boyfriend work?
Yeah, both of them work.
Okay, so they're both working to try to keep their household going.
But the grandma, the boyfriend's parents been watching them and they've been complaining. So it's just like, I'd rather just help her.
Sure, I bet you want to be there to help.
Yes.
Is that daughter your oldest child?
No, my oldest are 19.
Okay, boy or girl?
19 boys.
Well, do you have twins?
Yeah.
Okay, are they out of school?
They're out of school. They're on the way to college. They just graduated this year.
Good for them. Where are they going to college?
One of them said Auburn, one of them public department, Georgia Tech.
Okay, well, that's good stuff. And how young is your youngest?
My youngest is 9 years old.
Okay.
And my other youngest was 5 who died.
The one who passed away was 5?
He died in February.
Okay. I'm real sorry for your loss. That must have been difficult to be locked up when something like that happened. Well, Mr. Edmond, I find there's a factual basis for your plea in both cases. They're kind of similar, drugs and guns. Ms. Hall, is she still someone in your life that was a one-time girlfriend, long-term girlfriend?
Yeah, she's still someone in my life.
Is she the mother of any of your kids?
No, she's just my girlfriend.
Okay. Does she have an addiction problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does.
Meaning if you spend time with her, you both might use?
I'm not going to be with her when I get out.
Okay. You're done being with her?
Yeah.
All right. Have you had contact with her since you've been locked up?
No.
I also find that your pleas are knowing and voluntary, and that just means you've understood what we've been talking about and that no one's forcing you to enter these pleas. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Any questions about anything so far?
No, sir.
All right. I'm sentencing you pursuant to the Probation Options Management Act. Ms. Rios, can someone in my office sign the indictments for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Edmond, can someone sign your name electronically indicating your guilty plea in the two cases?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Edmond, I'm hearing you and feeling your plea to be given another chance to be there for your family, et cetera. And it's not falling on deaf ears. But I also see sort of where you've gotten yourself, whole lot of arrests, serious number of convictions. And then we've got, it was almost an anniversary in January of 24 was you getting arrested with drugs and gun. And then a year later, January of 25, and it was really only, it was also on Ralph David Abernathy's, like a block away. Similar drugs, gun, and that's dangerous for you, it's dangerous for the people around you, and we need to come up with a hard stop. I'm not confident that Salvation Army is that hard stop. I'm going to come down somewhere in between what the state's recommending. I understand where they're coming from on this and what Ms. Rios is recommending. So hear me out, and then you and Ms. Rios can talk about it. And like I told you at the beginning, you can say, I can't do that, and we can get you a trial on one or both of these cases. So what I'm going to do overall, I'm going to give you the number, and then I'll tell you how we break it down. But I'm going to give you the overall number so that you and Ms. Rios can talk about it, about whether it's something that you even want to do. My sentence that I'm going to impose is 10 years to serve 3 years with the balance on probation. You'll get credit for all the time you've been in. There's no recidivist notice that I see, and so I think your convictions are parole.
And there it is, the verdict moment. 3 years inside, 7 on probation. The judge splits the difference between mercy and caution. You can almost sense he's saying, I believe you want to change, but I need to see it. This isn't just punishment. It's a second chance wrapped in a warning.
Parolable. And then I've got some conditions about getting your GED and things like that. But the biggest difference is Ms. Rios was asking for a sentence that will get you out in the next few days to Salvation Army. The state was saying 5 years to serve. I'm saying 3 years to serve. That's more severe than what Ms. Rios asked for. And so today you can say no thanks, and we'll make sure you get onto a trial calendar. You'll stay right where you are until that trial calendar. Or you can say, it's not what I was hoping for, but it's what moves my cases forward. And I'll be recommending that while you're in custody, you get to do the residential substance abuse treatment program within the Department of Corrections, which if you complete, gets you out a little earlier. But that's a decision they'd make and that you'd make with them. So why don't you two talk about 10 Serve 3 versus Salvation Army, and then you can let me know if that's something you want to go forward with, and then I can break the sentence down into all the little pieces that it'll have.
Yes.
All right?
We would like to move forward with the plea.
All right. So, Mr. Edmond, you and Ms. Rios had a chance to talk. She's telling me that you want to move forward. Here's how your sentence is structured in 25 SC 003 445. Your sentence as to count 1 is 5 years to serve 3 years, balanced, probated. Count 2 has to be 5 years and has to be consecutive. I'll probate that. Counts 3 and 4 are both 12 months to serve. They'll be concurrent with each other, and count 1. 5 is dismissed, and 6 is 5 years to serve 3 years, concurrent with count 1. Total sentence of 10 years to serve 3 years, balanced, probated. Special condition number 1 is that you complete your GED. You can do that while you're in custody. They make that pretty easy. If you don't, it'll be something you need to do while you're on probation.
Yes.
I'm not going to include any community service. When you get out, you should focus on plugging back in with your family, getting back to work, etc. You will forfeit the firearm that was seized in that case. And that's it for the 445 case. Your sentence in 25 SC 004469 will run concurrently with your other one. So everything's running at the same time. Count 1 is 5 years to serve 3 years, balanced, probated. Count 2 is 5 years to serve. It has to be consecutive to count 1. Counts 3 through 7 are all 12 months to serve. They'll run concurrently with each other and with count 1. Count 8 is dismissed, and count 9 is 5 years to serve 3 years, concurrent with count 1. So again, we've got a 10 years to serve 3 years sentence with those same conditions of get your GED, forfeit the gun. But that one has the added condition of no contact with Ms. Hall. So when you're out and on probation, you need to stay away from Ms. Hall. Sounds like you've already made that decision, but that'll be part of your probation. And I'm going to add language in both sentences that recommends to the Department of Corrections that you participate in their residential substance abuse treatment program, which I think will be super helpful if you get into that. You will get credit for all the time you've already been in custody. That will go towards your overall sentence.
So that will count toward my parole too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
So how am I, what percentage is parole?
I don't know how that works. I intentionally stay out of that mix because judges don't have any say in parole. What I can tell you is my limited understanding is it's based in part on the seriousness of the offense, and these are viewed as only medium serious. You didn't hurt anyone. And the extent of your criminal history. That's a little bigger, so that might move you in the grid a little bit. But if you had shot someone, you're going to do a whole bunch of your sentence. If what you had done was break into someone's car, you do less of your sentence. I think you're in that direction, but not a decision I make, and they don't even ask me my opinion. So I don't get to tell them, hey, Mr. Edmond is a good guy who wants to be with his family.
So would I go to level 5 or I ain't never been to prison.
You will go to Jackson first. That's the diagnostic facility. Everyone goes there, and that's where you will meet with counselors. They'll figure out, this doesn't apply to you. Are you in a gang? Because if you were, you can't go to this facility because that's where they send these guys and that. They'll look at what your needs are, substance abuse treatment. That'll affect where you go. The length of your sentence, it's only, I put that in air quotes, 3 years is a long time, but it's 3 years. It's not 30 years.
Yes.
They'll look at what your conviction is. It's not robbing someone at gunpoint. That's going to get you into higher security than you have an addiction. And so you're selling little drugs and you're using drugs. That's lower security. Now, if you show up there and break the next guy's nose when you're there because you punch him in the face, they're going to put you in high security. Some of it you control by staying in your lane while you're at Jackson. But you start there, you meet with counselors, and they figure out where is the safest place that best fits your needs.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know about these levels you're talking about, but you are not going to Supermax. That's not who you are.
Yeah, okay. I never been to prison. That's why.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. My hope is you don't like it there, because that'll help you when you come back and plug in with your family. Say, I'm going to take the steps I need to not go back there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
That's all.
Good luck. Sorry for your loss. Thank you, Ms. Rios.
Sorry, Your Honor, if I could just get reporting.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Edmonds. I forgot. This is probation, and they're going to tell you something. You'll hear about this again because
That line, I hope you don't like it there. That's a judge's version of tough love. It's not cruelty. It's a reminder that the next move belongs entirely to the defendant. Redemption or relapse. This is the turning point.
probation and parole are run out of the same group. But just in case you didn't get parole, Officer Okuzu?
Yes. So it's just simple. Once you get a release, Mr. Edmond, we do need you to report to the Atlanta DCS office located at 276 Memorial Drive, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30303 within 48 hours upon your release. And that's where they'll do intake with you. Thank you.
And you don't need to memorize that address. You'll be told that again when you're being processed out of wherever you are. You may end up, because of your situation, at the reentry facility, which is just across into DeKalb County. And they would tell you the same thing about where and when you need to report to plug in with probation.
Yes.
Okay?
All right.